Today we're diving into pharmacology, the science of drugs and their effects on the body. It's a broad field, but the key focus is understanding how substances interact with biological systems, right?
Exactly. Pharmacology isn't just about creating drugs. It's about understanding how they affect various systems, like the nervous or immune systems. So, when we take a drug, it's not just a random chemical entering the body. There's a whole process of absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion.
Ah, the famous ADME. It's fascinating how the body deals with the drug from start to finish. But what's interesting is that different drugs affect different people in unique ways. Why do you think that is?
It comes down to genetics, metabolism, and even lifestyle. A drug might be super effective for one person and not work at all for another, just because of how their body processes it. For instance, two people could take the same dosage of a painkiller, but one might feel the effects more strongly based on their genetic makeup.
That's true, and it's why personalized medicine is becoming such a hot topic. We're moving from a one-size-fits-all approach to tailoring treatments to individuals. Do you think we're ready for that kind of shift on a large scale?
It's definitely a work in progress. Personalized medicine relies heavily on genetic testing and data collection. While the tech is advancing rapidly, there are still challenges like accessibility and cost. But imagine a world where your doctor knows exactly which drug works best for you based on your DNA.
It would be revolutionary. But speaking of challenges, let's not forget the ethical dilemmas. What happens if these treatments are only available to certain people because of their financial situation? It could widen the gap in healthcare access.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest concerns. But we're also seeing efforts to make treatments more accessible, like through government-funded healthcare programs and initiatives aimed at reducing drug costs. It's going to take time, but the potential is there.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the role of pharmacovigilance, on monitoring the safety of drugs even after they hit the market. We've seen some cases where drugs had serious side effects that didn't show up in early trials.
Right, like the thalidomide in the 1950s. It was supposed to be a sedative, but it caused birth defects. That's why post-market surveillance is so crucial. We can't always predict every possible outcome from clinical trials, but ongoing monitoring helps spot problems early.
It's all about balancing risk and benefit, isn't it? We want drugs that work, but we also want to minimize harm. With new technologies, it feels like we're getting closer to that balance.
Exactly. Pharmacology is like a never-ending puzzle. As we learn more about how drugs interact with our bodies, we also discover better ways to protect patients and ensure they get the most out of their treatments.
I think the future looks promising. And it's exciting to think that as we advance, we might start seeing even more breakthroughs in drug development and personalized treatments. It could completely change how we approach medicine.
For sure. It's an exciting time for both science and healthcare. We're just scratching the surface of what's possible.